want to come on here? I don't know. I just came on. I didn't do anything I was supposed to do last time. But, you know, I will say, though, in the romantic category, there is finally a real contender, a good contender for the love, you know, situation. You know, he's put his application in and been talking daily. He's actually making plans to come see me in 4 days. And we're going to spend some time together or whatever. It's going to be a short trip, but it's just more so of just a connection to see if we connect and, you know, whatever. But, yeah, I'm excited. So we'll see if he'll let me film him. By the time it, gets on YouTube, I'll probably be married or whatever. Who knows? But the goal is to to be a little bit more, what's the word? Less procrastinating or whatever. But as far as work is concerned, it's still going good. I still don't know if I'm permanent or not. But it's actually fine because, like I said, with things, the way things are moving with me and this dude, like, you know, maybe I'm not supposed to be in St. Louis. Maybe I'm supposed to be in another city. So, good morning. Happy Tuesday. So I have to jump on really quickly, just because I'm kind of noticing something that I'm doing. So I told you I have, you know, been talking to this guy and we like each other, and, you know, it's really going well, like really well. And I don't know, I just got a little scared, or like, I wasn't fear. I feel like last night, like he's coming in town tomorrow. I literally like took 2 things that he said, which is super light and like nothing. My mind just kind of started spiraling, like, oh, he's, you know, that's kind of negative, like that's nothing to say. Because basically, excuse y'all, basically he said like he had a bad day. Now mind you, I talked to him on the phone all day, throughout the day. And he was going good. He was like, you know, everything was flowing or whatever. And then, you know, he called last night or whatever. And so he said that he, you know, had gone to the store, ran across the street to the store, but he left his sink water or something on. And so when he got back, I guess the water had run on the floor or whatever. He's like, man, I had a horrible day. I had a bad day. And I'm like, really? What happened? And he's like, you know, he said that. And I'm like, how you gonna make the whole day bad just because something happened 10 minutes ago, you know? And then it's water, you know, it's not oil, it's not grease, it's, you know what I mean? In my mind. And then we were talking about the COVID stuff, you know, I was kind of giving some suggestions on some precautions, you know what I mean? Because he is diabetic, so, or he has whatever. So I was like, you know, we should do these steams or whatever, just, you know, right before we see each other, to make sure that if anything is trying to fester up or whatever. That's just what we did. You know, when I went to the wedding, my mom and I, we did it when we got back because she's diabetic or whatever. And it's not I'm not saying it's a cure, but it's basically just, it just helps. It helps keep your immune system and all that stuff clean. There's no harm in doing it. So it's just kind of like, you know, if anything is trying to settle in, it just kind of helps it not settle, you know. So I was like, we should do these pills or whatever. I'm gonna pick up some oranges or whatever so we can do. And he's like, what is that? And so and he clearly didn't know what I was talking about. And then like 2 minutes after I explained everything or whatever, I guess he had like maybe looked it up, and then it was just like, okay, you know that doesn't cure COVID and blah blah. So I was just like annoyed. I'm like, I mean, like I never said it cured it, you know. And then you just said you didn't know what it was. Oh yeah, I did one of those before, but like a whole nother conversation. So I was just annoyed. I wasn't in a mood to play, because he will do that thing where he'll say something of the opposite, just kind of like just to mess with me or whatever, or we do that just to play. But I don't know, I was just tired last night. So this morning I'm thinking, okay, crap, I'm gonna see him tomorrow. I have not seen him in years, and I don't know, I don't know. So I'm just woke up this morning. I'm pretty sure it's just nerves and just nerves and, you know, a little bit of fear, whatever. But guess what? Who's controlling the fear? Yeah, the fear is not from God. So I'm gonna have to shake it off and just see how today goes and just play it by ear. It's just an innocent trip for us really to kind of just see if there's a connection, or, you know, really that's it, just to kind of see each other basically. and not overthink anything. Like with the water situation, when he said that, I could have just, nicely said, well, you can't let a little water ruin your whole day. The day is almost over. You know what I mean? Something like that. Like, I have to get out of my head that my husband is going to be perfect and, everything I say is going to go. And, that's not reality. He is a different person. It's not meant for me to change him. You know what I mean? But just to kind of give him a different perspective, just to kind of drop a little, because that's what I feel like one of my mentors, EC in the building, I call her the butter knife, because she would just tell you, she would speak truth, and it'd be so sweet and so nice, but then you'd be like, dang, did she just cut me a little bit? You know what I mean? And it would be it's not a disrespectful thing, it's just, it was just, giving in love. 1 second. I'll give you an example. Like the first time she and I kind of hung out or whatever, we were driving to church, I guess. I got a ride with her to church. Hold on, let me pay for the food. People always, they've told me this for years, that I never look my age, and it's a blessing, I don't feel my age, and it's not on purpose. It's not. Like, I've seen older people try to be young. And it's not that. It's not like, oh yeah, let me try to fit in. I'm not doing it at all. Because it's not like if I, happen to learn a song or know a song just from being around somebody, something like that, that's different. But I'm not like trying to study and, trying to stay or be young. So, I was in the car with the mentor. She wasn't my mentor at the time, but, and she was like,
Mickey, how old are you?
Yeah, so I'm like, 26 in these LA streets or whatever, but I'm really 36. And she was like,
Oh, okay. That's a lot, right?
and I was just like, ooh, it just kind of landed on my heart like, oh wow, you shouldn't be, like, why are you lying about your age? Just be your age, and just, you're not an actress. I have a friend, she literally looks like she's still in her 30s, but she's closer to her 50s, but she can't just really share that information because they'll try to typecast her. So she had gotten a new manager, and she took the chance because she felt like, she trusted them and they were, doing good or whatever. So she told them her age, and then ever since then, she was like, I wish I would have never said anything, because now they're treating me like, only giving me these kind of roles, and I don't look like an average 50-year-old mom or 45-year-old whatever, you know what I mean? So, so what's my point? So the purpose in bringing that story up is that she was able to correct me, or she didn't judge me, but she gave, and it's not even correction, but it's just, she gave me a different outlook on what I was doing in love. And I feel like I should have done that last night with his, oh man, yesterday was horrible. It's kind of like, because he he has a tendency to be a little bit, like, for example, he's like, oh, going crazy. This is another time on the phone. He's like cussing and going crazy, whatever. Like, there's a stupid earpiece. This is so dumb. I can't. It just gets on my nerves. I can't. And I'm like, what? He's like, I can't find these stupid. I'm so tired of these wireless earbuds and blah blah blah. And just, really, he lives in a studio apartment or whatever. And I'm like, well, okay. When we got on the phone, you were first sitting on the bed. You were laying down. Did you check under the pillows, under the blankets and stuff? I already looked there. Did you check on the couch? Did you go into the bathroom? Did you look in the bathroom? I already looked there. And then all of a sudden he was just quiet. I'm like, hello? He was like, yeah. I was like, did you find it? He's like, yeah. I'm like, where was it? By the microwave. And I'm just like, but you on 100 as if you had a full day, like it's been missing for like 6 hours. And it's gonna be somewhere in the house. You still on the phone, so it's just perspective, I guess. That's what it is. It's like his perspective. I want it to be a little bit more positive. But I guess with this whole relationship type thing and marriage or whatever, you have to accept the partner for who they are and how they process things, and just kind of give them nuggets in love to, to benefit them, because he didn't have to get that worked up over a earbud, you know what I mean, that is literally gonna show up somewhere. Or, I don't know, maybe I'm being controlling in how he's supposed to process stuff, and I don't want that to be the case. But maybe that's what's going on. I just want to get on and talk about that really quickly. You know, like I said, he gets here tomorrow. I'm gonna record him. Hopefully, if he don't trip out about that. And like I said, by the time this freaking actually gets up on YouTube and airs, it'll be so much later. But yeah. And then I have this thing where I don't know why I'm like a grown adult, but I'm scared to tell my mom that he's coming. You know what I mean? Because I just don't want any negativity. I've had this thing with her where I've had to like, not had to, but I feel like I've hide my relationships because this one moment when I was younger, she would be so like, there was this boy there, he wrote me this letter. It was an innocent letter, but it was just him saying that he liked me and all of that stuff or whatever. And she used to be so strict. Like, she's so different with Danielle, of course. Or was different when Danielle was growing up, but she was so like strict, and she did not play when it came to like boys and all of that stuff and getting pregnant at, you know, an early age and all of that. So she just put the fear in me, like, you do not da 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 da. So after that, I kind of, in my mind, I think developed this kind of this consciousness or whatever, where I wouldn't talk about my relationships, you know, even though they weren't like real relationships, it'd be situationships or whatever. But I wouldn't, you know, I would be like at one time, for example, when I'm a grown woman in my own house in Nashville, and she came to town, and I was in, you know, my friend was there or whatever, he had spent the night, and I was just so like, oh my God, okay, you gotta go, instead of just, hey, you know, mama, this is my friend, da-da-da-da, so, you know, like, I'm an adult, I have my own house, you know what I mean? So there's nothing wrong with it, but just feeling this kind of shame. So I really have to pray and ask God to help me with that, you know, because, so the plan is to talk to her tonight and say, hey, this is the situation, he's coming in town tomorrow, I'm going to be hanging out with him for the next 3 days, you know, we're going to go somewhere else so that he doesn't, you know, just to be safe and precautious and blah, blah, blah. Hi guys, happy Wednesday. So I'm jumping back on here really quickly because update. So remember my friend I was telling you about, I kind of was in my feelings, or not in my feelings, but I was kind of contemplating or thinking that, you know, he was being a little negative or whatever. So I kind of got a little bit more of the story, and it turns out that the issue with the water really is a bad situation that happened with this
in
carpet.
1,000 feet. Use the left 2 lanes to turn left at I-70 East St. Louis.
Sorry. Because he has all carpet in his apartment, and I didn't realize it. I'm thinking he has hardwood floors, so all of the water...
Turn left I-70 East St. Louis.
All of the water that overflowed flowed down into his carpet. And so now there's like, you know how when your carpet gets wet, it's like an odor, and... Sorry, I'm trying to fix it. Yeah. Okay, there's like an odor and everything is really bad, but so yes, I kind of like understood a little bit more, but you know. And then the other part too, I talked to my sister and my mom, and I was just honest about, you know, how I was feeling or whatever, and they both made me feel a lot better, because I think a lot of it too, I was just doing what I normally do, is just trying to sabotage a situation where someone likes me, you know what I mean?
In 1,000 feet,
this is
use the left lane to stay to the left.
I'll come back once I check into the Airbnb, or like the whole process. I'm excited. I'm excited. This is really cute. I like it. I like it a lot. This is gonna be a little bit of an emotional vlog this go around, only because but I wanted to share because I felt like it's a for me it's a aha moment, you know. heck, maybe you can help somebody else that finds themselves like getting the same results. You know what I mean? And then so let's just get started. Basically, I was telling you guys about this guy I was talking to. I had liked him, had a crush on him for years. I'm the queen of crushes. And so I made the classic mistake I made back in high school, where a friend of mine was telling me, kind of telling me like, just play the friend role, just be his friend. Just be his friend and go that route, be friends first. And I'll admit I was impatient, you know what I mean? Because he wasn't calling, like we had gotten involved with like a group of us with some investment kind of like opportunities and stuff, so we would talk a little bit about those things. But for me, it wasn't enough. I wanted to talk to him more. I wanted him to know. I just, this whole quarantine. Anyway, long story shorter, I told him that I liked him and that I've liked him for years. And, he was just like, what, word, what? And I was like, how do you feel about that? Like, did it freak you out or, whatever? And he was, of course, he was down with it. And we started talking, every day. It was good conversations. It was fun, it'd be some little bootleg kind of like debates and stuff, but for the most part, it was still fun and playful. Excuse me. My skin, y'all, it's getting better, but I'm sorry, my lashes is tripping because of tears. Anyway, get to the point. So he comes to St. Louis. He's, lives out of town. He came to visit me in St. Louis, and we spent the weekend together. And it was cool. We had like a little small hiccup, but it's, minor. TMI, to share anyway. But it was still cool, And so one thing that I talked to him about before he got here was that I hope that once he leaves, that things don't slow down, like the pace remains the same and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, we could just go with the flow. Like, you may, realize that you can't stand being around me or da-da-da-da-da, And I'm just like, well, what if I, like being around you? What if I have a good time, which I did, And he was like, well, we'll just do it when it comes. So we were talking a little bit since, he's been gone back home. And then last night we just had the weirdest, it was, okay, so about 3 days ago, I reached out to him and I was like, hey, I feel like I'm seeing you more interactive in our business stuff with the other people in the group than you do me. Like I haven't really heard from you or talked to you or text, whatever. So let me know if I need to adjust my emotions or my feelings towards you. Because it's cool, like I brought this to you, I'm the one who's been liking you for X amount of years or whatever, so I can't expect you to be on the same field or level as me,
No, it's cool. What are you talking about? You're tripping. Why would you say that? La la la. Everything is cool. You can't keep asking so many questions. Just go with the flow.
Okay. So we stay on the phone and we kind of start talking. He tells me about his job and some things that are irritating him with his job and some stressors that he's, going through or whatever. So in my mind, I'm like, wow, that makes sense. Like, okay, I didn't know that you were dealing with these things or feeling this way about your job and stuff or whatever. So it's kind of like, Nikki, calm down. Everything is cool. So, excuse me. So I just asked him a question about a friend of his that constantly cheats on his wife. They won't get a divorce. They're still together for whatever reason, but he had told me, that they he cheats on his wife like all the time. He's like, he's not there for it. He doesn't support it or, applaud it, but he's just like, this dude, I don't know what the deal is, but he's always cheating on his wife. So when they had their little boys night out the night before, I was like, so did MC come?
He was like, MC.
And I was like, yeah, the married cheater. And he was just like,
oh, you act like your married friends are just wholesome and great.
And I was like, well, honestly, my friends, most of them are single, but the ones that are not, maybe good 4 of them, 5 now, they're married and they haven't cheated on their spouses or whatever. 2 of them have been cheated on, by the husband, but they haven't cheated. And this whole argument, happened debate or whatever happened over that sentence. And it went from, me not knowing the statistics about divorce, and it went from this, and it went for that. And I'm just like, we are not talking about all these other scenarios. We're talking about my friends being so wholesome, and me just believing, or you thinking that I'm gullible for thinking that my friends, my married female friends, are wholesome or not wholesome in your eyes or whatever. And I'm telling you that they are.
How do you not know? How do you not know that they're not wholesome? How do you not?
And I said, because we've had conversations. Like, the same way your friend confided in you and said, hey, I cheated, I stepped out on blah blah blah, they would say the same thing. I don't understand. And then if they had stepped out on their husbands, and I know that information, why would I withhold it from you in this conversation? Because that's what it is, a conversation, not a debate. So anyway, it was like a horrible conversation. It just went so many other places or whatever. And I just, within the conversation, I just felt so like, this is not what I want, I don't know if I can tolerate it, or just, I don't know. I was tired. It was close to midnight. I had to go up, be at work in the morning. So I was just like, we both were just kind of like, goodbye, good night, have a good evening or whatever. So when I knocked out or whatever, but when I woke up this morning, it was just like, do I want to really pursue this, or is this really for me? Like, is this normal? Was he playing? I was just so confused. I had so many questions or whatever on what was going on. So I called my friend who was, giving me the advice in the first place about everything, because she's really close to the dude and she knows him. And, she was just like,
you started it off wrong. Like, you should have never told him that you liked him. Like, if a guy knows that you like them, if you like them more than they like you, then of course they're going to take advantage. Of course they're going to, it's a free ride. Everybody been quarantined and, whatever. So, of course, they're going to be like, oh, for real, what's up? Let's pop,
She's right. And then that's when I kind of saw I saw the formula, per se, that I do in these situationships that I get in. I have not had a successful relationship because I think I either self-sabotage them from getting to that place, or I just don't know how to have one. I don't know what to do, honestly. And so once I saw that, I literally was not saying that I'm the cause of why we got into this whole argument, but it's just the cause of why I am even connected to somebody that is so it's weird, because we have a lot in common, a lot of baggage issues in common. And when I say baggage issues, it's like he represents to me how I felt my last 2 years living in LA. I had been, used just business wise and everything or whatever. And I was tired. I was exhausted. I was tired of, just bad news. I'm tired of chasing the carrot. I was just frustrated, So that's what he felt like last night on the phone. Just being frustrated with whatever his things were outside of the few that he shared with me on the phone, because I don't know. So a part of me wants to give him grace for that, because I know how that feels. I know what it's like, and I would just hate to walk out on somebody, when they're going through their dark moment, because it's temporary, it won't last. But the other side of it is, I had to come to the realization that I'm unhappy here in LA. I'm tired. I'm frustrated. I'm snapping on people. I'm, and that's not my personality. I'm a joyful, silly, goofy, loving woman that's just who I am. I can't help it. And I don't feel like I should have to dumb it down or be serious or whatever. Just be, I mean, I am serious sometimes, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I shouldn't have to change who I am just to be with someone. So, I don't think it's going to be until he realizes that I don't know, maybe he knows he's frustrated. I don't know. But, like, he has to understand why he is so angry. Because I know that last night was just him taking out the frustration, a week, maybe 2 weeks worth of frustration, you know what I'm saying, that he had been experiencing on his job and whatever else that he, was not telling me. And I was just like an easy target. Boom, boom, boom. Let's knock her down, And it's just like, who wants to, and I'm not saying every relationship is perfect or whatever. I'm not saying that, but I just know that it can't be that, or I don't know. For me, I just know that I can't handle that on an ongoing thing. If that's the norm, or that would be our norm, then I can't. So the tears are here because I could easily see him a month from now being like, yeah, I got a girlfriend. I'm in a relationship, or I'm back with my ex or whatever, because that's what happened in my last situation. Like I did get with these guys. They literally showed me all the, I see all these red flags, and I'm just like, oh no, he's just this, or he's just whatever. Or I try to stick with him, through whatever. And I'm the one who comes out on the short end of the stick. So I am, sorry. I am wanting to take this moment to, number one, I'm going to step back and just be his friend. We have not spoken, of course, today, but when we do talk, when he does call, I'm going to just let him know that, hey, I led you on to believe that, I don't know, just, I guess, to be blunt, that I'm a whore. But I'm not. You know what I mean? I want to cuddle. I want to watch movies together or whatever. Yeah, sex is cool and it's important, but it's something that I have to be emotionally invested in. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to just have sex. You know what I'm saying? I want it to mean more. So I'm thinking, in my mind, I was thinking that because I've known him for literally years, that me making that same mistake by putting the physical first, that it would work out, because we have a history. That's the only difference between what I've done in the past and me dealing with him. The only difference is a history. You know what I'm saying? A long history. I'm talking about like 10 plus years. And it's just showing me that does not work. You cannot use works. You know what I mean? And I talk about this in the book that I'm writing. You can't use works to win people over, or to win affection, or to win even God's love or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they're like, God's love, what? Right, left turn real quick. Because I kind of felt like, again, I'm kind of getting into my book or whatever, but there's a chapter where I talk about how I thought that I had to read so many chapters and I had to study so many scriptures or whatever in order for God to do this, and that, in order for him to make me feel safe, or in order to for him to give me peace, or in order for him to bless me with this, or give me a car or whatever. It was always like, this credit list, or I don't know how to say it, but that's kind of, I just call it works. And it's just like a huge slap in my face, because I'm like, I clearly see how I ended up right here. You know what I mean? I clearly see it. And I'm just tired of trying to control things. I'm tired of, because if I just would have been patient, I wouldn't, I don't know, not saying, again, he is still who he is. You know what I mean? He's still who he is. I'm not going to talk bad about him. But as far as me being emotionally vested in him, or, I don't know. But I'm basically, sending him love letters, and not letters, only sent one, one letter. Made sure, I had to cook meals and stuff for him while he was here, and just doing like relationship type things or whatever, because I want to be in a freaking relationship with the dude. It's just like, come on. And it's just like, I tried to kind of force that on him, and he was more so physically attracted to me, and I'm more so I was more so emotionally connected to him, or wanting a relationship. So I was like, all right, let me see, I'll give like you're playing cards. Okay, I got a physical attraction. Okay, I'll give you that, 2 physical attractions. What you got? You know what I mean? And he like, no, I ain't got none of that relationship stuff over here. He hasn't said those words, but again, his actions show it. You know what I mean? And last night's conversation was just so, yeah, when I tell you, it was just so stressful. Like, and it's embarrassing too. My mom and my sister came in the room and was like, who are you talking to? Because I'm yelling, he yelling. I'm so sorry, y'all. Couldn't breathe. But yeah, it was just all bad, all bad. And again, my tears are from me making the same mistakes, and me tired of making the same mistakes, me ready to get it right. I want to get it right, but I have this fear of like that God won't give me the man that I deserve. You know what I mean? And it's just, that's the part that I don't know how to figure out. That's the part that I don't know how to fight and combat. So I think that's why I settle for the situations, just because it's better than nothing. You know what I mean? So I don't know what the purpose of this was, other than just to get it off, get it out of my head or whatever. But I don't know. Hopefully, if the same thing keeps happening, it can't be everybody else. That's the main thing to take away. So it's me forcing things. It's me going around telling niggas I like them instead of just being their friend, just being cool with them. You know what I mean? I've literally, every single situation, for the most part, I feel like I've pursued the dude. So no wonder they look, you know, and then when they are in a relationship with someone that they like, it's because they pursued that person, you know? So it just sucks to look back and be like, wow, you know, to see like, dang, Nikki, you did that. Yep, that's your fault too. That's your fault. That's your fault. You know, it's just like, it's a hard pill to swallow. But I get it. I get it, because this doesn't feel good. It's, you know, I hate the time that's been wasted. Like I said, I feel like he and I can probably be friends. If anything, it may be a good situation that the argument happened last night or whatever, because I just don't think I don't think he really wanted a relationship with me, honestly, you know, but I think I was trying to make it one, you know, and he just like, so maybe me pulling back could help. It could help and blossom into something else, or it could not. But at this point, I don't even know if I would want anything to blossom with him. So it makes it easier for me to just be his friend, which I want to be his friend. I don't want to like cut him out of my life. I want to be his friend. I want to be able to, you know, talk to him and he confide in me, because I know there's some things that he's you know, dealing with, and I want to help him, you know, at least be an ear or like help him with that. But I also can't change how he looks at things, how he looks at his outlook on life and stuff like that. All right, no music moment for today because I'm in my feelings, but I just wanted to share. I'm gonna go back to work and just zone out, listen to some podcasts and stuff, and yeah. All right, bye. Hello. So same day, still, what is it today, Tuesday evening. I just wanted to give an update before I went to bed, hence the my little bootleg gown. But anyway, I feel a lot better. I spoke to the gentleman I was talking about earlier. We had a really good conversation, and I just kind of told him that I have this pattern of, you know, settling in the beginning, or pretending that I don't want to be in a relationship either. Who wants those? I'm outside, you know? And I just told him, like, yo, I don't want to be outside, bro. I want to be inside, cuddling up with my husband. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I want. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm goofy. I'm silly. I'm churchy. Like, that's just who I am, and I'm proud of it. And I can't hide it, you know what I mean? But I can't put up with doom and gloom or disrespect or whatever, if that's what comes with this package. So he heard me. He apologized for, you know, what happened yesterday, and I just feel a lot better. So what we've decided to do is just kind of reset, you know what I mean? Reset as friends and build a foundation. You know, he should stress that he is interested in me, and, you know, there's no love lost or whatever, no matter how we connected or whatever, or how we began to connect. And I don't know, it just made me feel better. I feel, so it's just like, as far as like all the lovey-dovey stuff or whatever, I'm chilling on that, but it's just my friend, you know what I mean? We'll continue to do like our business stuff together, and, you know, he's already like, I can't wait to see you again or whatever. So again, just still showing interest, you know, hearing me or whatever. So I feel better, you know what I mean? And I just feel, even though that we're just resetting as friends, I still feel hopeful. You know what I mean? Like, I don't, not for me and him, but just hopeful across the board. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I got the lesson, I learned the lesson, and, you know, moving forward, I won't repeat the incident. Okay, good night. I love you guys. Make yourself proud, and the world will catch on.